What's up? What's up, everyone? I hope you all are having a wonderful and blessed day. And if not, I do pray and hope that it gets better because you deserve it. I would like to say thank you for stopping back by the channel and checking out today's video. It means a lot to me and I do appreciate it. Now, if you are enjoying the content that you're seeing here, anyone mind continuing to help support not only me, but the channel as well, please feel free to hit that like and subscribe button and make sure to hit the bell icon so that you'll never miss out on any of my future Suicide Squad related content. Now, today we are going to be doing a breakdown of the Batman reveal trailer for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. We're going to be going over a couple of key things that I feel like people should know and some things that people also might not have caught the first time around. And we're actually going to start off with the first clip here. Well, the first screen stop, right? I'm going to pause it. Now, there are four things in this there are four things in this still that I do want to go over. The first one being the balloons over here on the side. So as of now, these balloons are kind of like a soft indicator of the various heroes that we are going to see appear in Suicide Squad, which would be Wonder Woman, Flash, Green Lantern, Superman, and Batman. As of this trailer, seeing as how he was the most recent superhero to be revealed in the game. The second thing I want to get into is just Metropolis as a whole. So after going back and doing like some research, paying attention to various things, not only in this trailer, but in some of the other footage that we currently have for the game as well, it seems to be as if the whole game itself, with the exception of the intro, because the game starts with Amanda Waller going to Arkham to free the squad members and then ship them off to Metropolis to handle her dirty work. Everything else is going to primarily take place inside of Metropolis. And Poison Ivy, for one, that's a very good example. I know a lot of people, including me, initially thought that we were going to be making a return trip to Gotham to see her, but that's actually not the case. I'm going to go ahead and put a picture up here. So, in this very same still where we get that teaser of her, in the background, if you look close enough, it should be like directly in the middle. You can see the Daily Planet. So, mixing that in with everything else that we're going to go over in this trailer here today pretty much confirms again that the game is primarily going to take place in Metropolis and Ivy herself will be coming here to the city, but we don't exactly know why or for what as of yet. Also, we have seen the game in multiple different stages of the day. We've seen it in like peak afternoon, we've seen it during the nighttime, we've seen it during sunset, which definitely does make the game look great and whatnot. I am curious as to whether or not the game will have a day and night cycle similar to how a game that's currently fresh in my memory will be Midnight Suns, because that game has a day and night cycle where you can run around and do various things throughout each section of the day. I don't know if that's been confirmed, but I would say it is. But the reason why I'd say I don't know if it's confirmed or not is because there are some games where like the day night cycle is actually a feature, and then there are other games where like that's literally just like a part of the story beat moving forward. So it's just that's a whole thing in and out of itself. But I like day and night cycles, just in case you didn't get that. The third thing I would like to go over is the fact that it seems like the squad is currently being hunted down. Now, we don't know exactly when in the game this takes place, but we can clearly see that this takes place sometime after they've already encountered Flash, and it seems like Brainiac's minions. There's one spotted here, and there's going to be another one showing up in this spot right here in a moment that are hunting down the squad. I would assume trying to either kill them, rescue Flash, or essentially do both, because I'm pretty sure Brainiac would want as many members of the league as possible underneath his control, just so that nothing undesirable happens for him, so to say, right? And then the last thing I want to get into would be Harley and Boomerang. So if I'm correct, it seems like the game is going to have a type of gear system, which is we will be able to change various things in our loadouts in order to, customize our characters and change how we play. We at the very least know that there will 100% be different weapons. I'm actually going to put two screenshots up here. It's going to be one for Harley, it's going to be one for Boomerang. So you see Harley here, she has her normal standard bat. This is pretty constant throughout every trailer that we've seen so far. But in some of the promotional art that we've seen for the game, Harley doesn't have this bat. She has what I would assume was like a paddle like a paddle bat with barbed wire wrapped around it. So that's it. That's not this. This is that's not a normal bat. That is an entirely different weapon. So also her handguns, as you can see on her side, she has her pistols, like her revolvers, on her hip. But we've also seen her sporting like a kind of Uzi, right? Like a mini Uzi in some of the other gameplay. Two different weapons. With Boomerang, I'm gonna post the screenshot for him here. We have him using a smaller, different colored shotgun, a sawed-off shotgun to be exact, which is essentially what it looks like. But in this trailer and in the gameplay trailer, he's using this big green auto shotgun, so to say. So mm, I don't entirely know if there's really going to be a true gear system in the game or how it's going to work if there is. But I felt like pointing out the fact that we've seen these characters so far rocking different weapons at different points was like, I feel like that was pretty noteworthy to mention. But that was all the four things for this specific part of the trailer. So we're gonna go ahead and move forward with everything else. Flash is also a very important part of this breakdown too, and we're gonna get into why exactly he's so important. We got the little Batman cutout with the plushie on the bottom of her bat. That's cute. So really quickly, just like further like keying in on the whole gear thing, on the whole gear aspect, you can see she's rocking dual pistols. Well, dual revolvers, so to say. So it's definitely not the Uzis that we saw her rocking in, the other footage. This was honestly the funniest part of the trailer to me. Like I've like Boomerang has been a favorite villain of mine before the game itself, but it's nice to see him getting some love. So over here in the left corner, we're gonna be going over two things. We're gonna go over that first, and then we're gonna go over Flash. So this right here in the corner, this says the Batman experience. This says the Batman experience. I know some of you might be thinking, how is it? How is it? You can see that or you can read it when you can't even like fully make it out because half of it is covered and also is blurry. So this shows up a total of 3 different times. This shows up the first time, but no, it shows up 2 times in this trailer, but it also shows up a third time in a different one. So if we move over, right? If we move over and we go back to where Batman showed up, which should be right here, over there in that corner, the Batman experience. That is the other half of that sign. It is in clear view right there for you to see. And this also takes place in the same scene because if you've seen the Batman reveal trailer already, when Batman arrives, the lights in the room turn red. And this is pretty much the same area. Also, it has been confirmed that, Batman is the one that's going to try to shoot Harley in the face with that gun. A lot of us didn't know who it was. A lot of people thought Red Hood. No, it is clearly Batman who was out to kill. So now that that's explained, we can go ahead and move over to Flash. So a very important thing, the one main constant that we've saw with all of the brainwashed league members was that their eyes were what essentially glowing purple, and they had like corruption streaks, like venom streaks running all over their faces. Flash doesn't have that here. He doesn't have it. Now moving forward, also this right here. So this ties into what I said earlier about the game primarily taking place in Metropolis itself as a whole. Ivy's coming to Metropolis. We have no idea what for. And we're not actually going back to Arkham. It seems as if like this section of Metropolis, or at the very least this building, has been retrofitted as a kind of tourist trap for people who want to know more about Bruce Wayne and Batman, because this takes place after Arkham Knight. Everybody knows who Batman really is, and this is somebody that's clearly trying to cash in by retelling different events that he was a part of, as a kind of insight into his life type of deal. We have a Arkham guard and Joker strapped up to the board or the table here on a cardboard cutout in the background, which is literally like a shot pulled from you actually taking him into intensive treatment way back in Arkham Asylum, the first game in the series. And I believe that this scene could also be where we end up encountering the bootleg Batmobile. I'll put a picture of that up here because this has been a thing. A lot of people this caught a lot of people's eye, but I feel like that's all going to be connected here in this area. So again, just to reiterate, his eyes are normal. He's taken a beating. Yes, he has, but there's no corruption streaks. So that's honestly leaving me wondering if whether or not they got a hold of Flash before Brainiac got to him, but they still ended up having to fight, or they got to Flash too late. He was already brainwashed, but they somehow managed to save him and free him from Brainiac's control. And this is why his minions are hunting down the squad, because they're trying to get back Flash and kill the squad, because if they were able to free him, they might be able to free the other members, and Brainiac does not want any of the Leaguers going unchecked because that will put a hindrance in his plans. Those are honestly my two thought processes on that as a whole. And you're in for a world of... Now, he just cut off his thumb. I initially thought that Boomerang stabbed him by accident, but no, he cut off his thumb, and that's actually very important. So when we take a look here, right, his armor very clearly has a lot of wear and tear, and the eye shit on his visor is not broke. But if we go and look at the other clips, right, let's look at this. So his armor here is repaired. His armor here is repaired. He has he has the corruption spreading across his face very clearly. His eyes are a different color, but the visor is broken. The visor is broken. But like, if you're thinking like how I'm thinking, shouldn't this be backwards? Like, if he has all this wear and tear on his armor, and this and they ended up getting him way later on, shouldn't he have that crack in his visor? Shouldn't he have the rest of the damage there? But it's not. Like, some of this stuff is clearly out of order. It's just a matter of figuring out the correct order. Also, his thumb. So moving over to this clip, right? The visor is repaired, but the corruption streaks are still here. The corruption in his face is still there, but his thumb. I'm positive a lot of people did not notice this. I didn't either. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't catch this. I didn't catch this the first time around until I went back and like really started studying every single piece of the clip. Flash has an alien thumb. He now has an alien thumb due to Boomerang accidentally chopping off his thumb in, the previous trailer. So at the very least, we know that this scene takes place after the encounter with Batman, right? Now, if you look at his armor here, there's a slice in the chest plate there. The chest plate here is clean, and then in this one, there's two slices in the chest plate. One is a bit smaller, but there's clearly two. So again, the order of these clips are not correct. I feel like they did this out of purpose just to like kind of throw people off. But I feel like these were all very important like things that people needed to know, just in case they didn't catch. So now we're gonna go ahead and go back to the trailer and hit play. Hey guys! We were just having a little. You hear that? We got the little Arkham Asylum gate in the background. We got the this honestly doesn't look like a main attraction room. This kind of looks like a backstage area where they just put all of the props and everything. So Batman just shoots up this guard, and that's the same gun that Batman is going to use to try to shoot Harley in the face. Also, she just called him by his real name. Now, we don't know what Harley's relationship is. We don't know what her relationship is with Batman at this point, but we also don't have a clear understanding of like where she is mentally, because going back to the Arkham games, right? She disliked Batman for a very long time while she was working with the Joker. And after the Joker's death, she had a very, very strong hatred for Batman himself. Even in Arkham Knight, Harley was one of the villains that you had to go and take down. Now it seems like in here she's a bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? She's a bit more like reformed. She's not as bitter and venom spitting as she was back in the previous games. So could that also mean that what her resentment and well not resentment that her hatefulness towards Batman might have eased up a little bit as like she's come to realize that she doesn't need the Joker all along. I mean, who knows? But the whole point of this is this very clearly takes place after Arkham Knight, and based off what we've seen, it feels like Harley is in a much better place than from where we previously left off with her in those games. The only thing is we just don't know how big the time difference is. But she also called him his real name in front of everybody, so that just further proves that again this is after Arkham Knight because his identity is public knowledge.
Shadows to scare the crap out of us criminals, huh? Don't sweat it. Batman doesn't kill people.
And that ain't good.
Are you okay?
And here comes Batman. So, the biggest thing out of this trailer, remember how I said earlier that Flash's face was normal? His eyes were normal and he didn't have any of the corruption in his face? Yeah. Batman is looking like how he did with the Joker blood running through his veins back in Arkham Knight, but to a much worse extent. He's under Brainiac's control. We don't know how, we don't know when, and we don't know why. We don't know where he got caught. But he got caught. And this is very dangerous because this is Batman. We all know how Batman is. Other than Superman, this is quite possibly the most dangerous person Brainiac could have control of. Now, we know that he faked his death. He faked Bruce Wayne's death at the end of Arkham Knight, and there was what like a new Batman running around at the end of the game, known as what I think Nightmare Batman. Essentially, I don't think we ever really had any like solid confirmation on if whether or not it was Bruce himself, just like operating under different methods, like using Scarecrow's fear toxin in his crime fighting efforts now. But Batman is here. He's under control. And only God knows what we're gonna have to do when we end up facing them. Also, because I have got to put this in here out of courtesy and respect, I believe this will be Kevin Conroy's final role as Batman. He did pass away earlier in November. Rest in peace to the late and great Kevin Conroy. That man was a legend. That man was a part of pretty much everybody's childhoods, and he made a lot of bright moments, and he made a lot of bright moments out of dark spots in people's lives. So rest in peace to him. You will be very much missed by everybody. But with all of that being said, going over Batman, that's the final piece. He's officially back in action in Suicide Squad. The Arkhamverse. We get to see him one more time. I believe that's going to mark the end of the video. So with that being said, I hope you guys have had a great time watching this. Hopefully you did. And if you did, let me know down in the comments below how you guys feel about Suicide Squad as a whole, about Batman showing back up in the Arkhamverse, about what this could possibly mean for the game going forward. Or just how you feel about the game, because I know I'm excited. Like, I'm managing my expectations, but I definitely am excited for it. Like, I'm gonna be honest. But again, leave all that stuff down in the comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notifications bell so that you'll never miss out on any of my future content. And I will catch y'all in the moonlight. Peace.